Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the evening session. Ooh, that disappeared. Naughty. Recommended. Check that on. There we go. Voila. Hala. Bang that on there. Guys, we're back on this painting. It's not quite finished yet. We're having some real fun with it though. And probably another... Ooh, what colour do we want? What colour will add that flare to it? Probably just a touch of red. RC, welcome on back. Good to have you here. You don't miss a beat, RC. That's what I like about you. And hey, Kirby. All right. We're going to kick off with primaries. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red, and a little bit of not so primary turquoise. And we're just doing tiny touches. Tiny touches. There we go. Have my primal around here somewhere. There it is. Voila. Hey, Ryan. I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. Angel. Welcome. There we go. Down there. And do I want to use this brush? That's the question. I do want to use it, but I need some scissors to sort it out. 1 second. Un momento. I think I left my scissors around here. Yes, that's perfect. This is what we're after. He's found it. And all these plates can go down here. Hey, Steve, how we doing? Fun story, Steve. You've shown up in just the nick of time because I've got this over here. Whee! Prepared and ready for action. So this board here, it's been sanded by 220, and it also has its sizing onto it. So I've got one layer of binder to go on here. Sorry, if I was painting this with egg tempera, I'd put the binder on it. But the sizing agent that I've used, the acrylic primer, will work as both layers. So that's good to go. But I've just got a few more little touch points on here I want to do. Yeah, be careful though. That's about all the Spanish I know. I was going to say, I need to check the weather report too, because if the weather report out there is really nice, maybe we'll make a start outdoors. Maybe, but we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Most importantly, we'll dabble on this one first and see where it takes us. And if it turns out that we think, actually, let's do that one outside tomorrow morning, then so be it. But we'll just go with the flow. Cool. Cheers, Steve. All right, popping colours first and foremost. Reds. Reds, blues, turquoise. We're just going to slash a few of these into the picture. Put this right dead centre. And start adding some strokes. There we go. So I went downtown, got my things sorted. That's why I was able to come back, which is pretty exciting. And we won't be around all night, but we'll hang around for about at least 45 minutes. At least 45 minutes. Hey, Rocket Calf Shop. It's a pretty exciting name. There we go. A little bit there. And we'll sneak in some more touch points. A lot of this is very, very raw colour, just so it clings beautifully to the surface. There we go. Lovely. Hey, Connie, how we doing? Welcome on in. We're just doing... There's our paint palette. It's pretty messy, but it's working. It's working for us. Alright, let's get a little bit more. So a few of these little pockets. It's very, very strong red. Thanks, Connie. I appreciate you. It's, this one's actually not far off the final curtain. Not far off the final curtain. So, we'll see. I don't think we'll finish it. I mean, hey, who knows what the next 45 minutes could hold? They could be the completion or the, well, hey, Connie, you never actually know. You know, I didn't see myself doing this kind of style when I was younger. I saw myself as more of a realism painter. Thought I was going to do exact correct landscapes, capture the world like that. And it's funny how like life throws you in an arc and puts you to where you're supposed to be. It sounds like, Connie, your relationship with art might be like mine with singing. You thoroughly enjoy it, but it has a time and a place. Possibly. There we go. Drawing's a skill. Like that. There we go. Little moments to capture all over the show through this painting. You enjoying this one? It's supposed to have a little bit of that impressionist style to it. It doesn't want to be 100% exact. It wants to have more of a loose nature to it. And it's a couple. And so with a couple, I've said it before this morning, we're capturing love. Love has depth. Depth comes from layers. Depth comes from colour. Depth comes from a million little colours, all bouncing over each other, trying to express their own little moments. And we're getting there. Give you a paint by numbers and suddenly you're amazing. I like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you know what? There's someone very, very famous by the name of Bob Ross who does paint by numbers. And no one would say that Bob Ross's art wasn't some of the most amazing art on the face of the planet. In terms of how he made it and shared it, showed other people how he did it. Kind of special. So, don't ever think that paint by numbers isn't legit. A lot of the subject matter gets given to me. So, someone will come to me with inspiration for an idea. In this case, the father of this gentleman wanted me to paint him and his partner. And they're going to get this in the very near future. Once I complete it, of course. But it's pretty exciting. Pretty fun to paint too. Always fun to paint, love. Your best friend? Ooh, well, I'm based in Auckland as well. And I am painting in North Auckland. But the studio, as of any day now, is going to be based in Orewa. And that's pretty cool. So if anyone is from around Orewa and they would like to join, not just for painting, but creatively and on my workspace, there's a link on the website to express interest. You don't have to. Of course you don't have to. You're your own human being. But if you want to join in, Petty, that was cool. Happy Halloween, everyone. If you celebrate Halloween, that's fantastic. I've got do I have a Halloween costume this year? Maybe. I haven't been invited to a Halloween party yet, so if a Halloween party comes up, then I'll get a costume. Until that moment, we'll hold fire. Petty by Nature's got all the fun ones this time. There we go. Joseph, I'm doing fantastically. Just playing around with a few colours. Ironically, these final colours, not final colours, but last few colours that I'm adding on here are similar to the ones that were used on Zambezi. I remember the turquoise and I remember the red as the finishing touches. I'm not saying we're doing the finishing touches. You never quite know, but I mean, they could be. They could be. And if they are, that's kind of fun. But at the moment, we're just playing with the last few little blobs. You got a Halloween outfit, Steve? Fantastic. Fantastic. I always go with something silly for Halloween. That's more my style. More like a goldfish. Goldfish? I think I've got a goldfish costume actually. Don't ask why. Or a what else would I go as? I don't even know anymore. What did I do last Halloween? Did I go anywhere? It's a year ago now. Time flies by. Hey Sarah. Yeah, I had a great long weekend. Very, very good for me. Went to a farmer's market. What else did I do? Went shopping. Op shopping. Where else did I go? Spent time with my little niece. Not real niece, but honorary niece. May as well be my real niece, guys. My best friend's child. Here we go. A little bit more poppy blue. Drag this through a few little spots. Wade Walker from Crybaby. You're outside my repertoire of knowledge. I'm not sure about Wade Walker from Crybaby. Sounds exciting though. There we go. Old Johnny Depp. Ah, yeah. Okay. Fair. I do like a Johnny Depp movie. He's got this recent one out where he's a professor, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Where he's given, he's diagnosed with a terminal illness, and then it's about how he comes to accept that his condition, and how it affects his family and himself and everyone he loves. It's fascinating. Very vulnerable and exposing too, which is obviously something that appeals to me. I like movies that do that. But I guess the old classic of being exposed or having to approach the idea of the end of your life, the idea of your own mortality. That's a concept that's been well rehearsed, I suppose, but it doesn't really get old for me because we're mortal, so it's sort of a fun topic to always look at. There we go. There we are. Perfect. I'm going to swap onto some tans now. I know this man didn't change his shirt. I did though, I did. I swapped it from a short-sleeved white shirt to what you see in front of you today. Let me just get some more paint ready. What do I do with my little stool? I've got a comfortable little seat. Will be 2 seconds. Connie, I have not done a self-portrait, not for a long time. And hey, Brittany, I'm doing good. Probably the only self-portrait I've done. It's like a 5-minute work in art school, well back in the day. So, anyway. A little bit of fluff. Gonna go back to... not this one, we're sorted. Hey Ivan, how you doing? A little bit of this. And a little bit of this. This is my, yeah. I know we were using this before I left last time, but burnt sienna and light sienna. And probably the same story with just a teeny, oh no. Let's go for Rosy Venice. Hey Chris. Coming to New Zealand for Christmas. That's exciting. Don't be surprised when you don't get snow for Christmas. New Zealand, I know it's going to sound weird, guys, but our Christmas is barbecues, sunshine, swimming. I've never ever done a white Christmas before. Not even once. How wild's that? So, only ever big, sunny Christmases. You know what? One day, I do want to do a white Christmas. One day. Yes, this is New Zealand. This is New Zealand. And one day I will. Today's not that day. Yeah, I think all New Zealanders think that. One day, we'll go overseas and do that white Christmas. That dream. There we go. Quiet in Midtown. It's pretty quiet where I am at the moment. Just me. Me and my paintbrush. Classic. Yeah, quick little painting session before I think about what I'll have for dinner. What I'll watch on Netflix. Jeepers. And my hair's all over the show. I've been having trouble with a bit of hair right there since I woke up this morning. So, Nessie said to say hi. Well, that's fair enough, but typically, the issue you can run into, if you're saying hi the whole time, it gets pretty exhausting for other people. So I try to say hi, but I also try and be respectful of those who are in the chat room for an extended period. And it sort of feels like I'm at a press conference being like, hello, 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 oh, hello, oh, how's your day, hello. And although I love hearing it, I think, oh, look at that, Jim. Welcome on in. Good to have you here. Jim. I've got no idea. It's going on 6:30. And that's fantastic, Nessie. Honestly, best advice I can give you, don't beat yourself up. Just go in there and have some fun. A lot of the time, you start to match yourself against everyone else who's ever painted a canvas in the history of time. And that's the wrong thing to do. Start by figuring out how to enjoy yourself. And from there, Then figure out the hard skills. Million artists have the hard skills, guys. Every artist is constantly figuring out the right ways to enjoy what they make. It's terrifying starting, just like anything you'll ever do. But Jim, if I had to guess, I'd be saying chicken and rice. But I might make some sort of sauce to go along with it. And I've got some lettuce in the garden that I've been growing. And so I'm excited to add that to it. So that's the plan. Hello, 6:30. All right. Yeah, I'm a dinner boy. I'm a dinner boy from way back. Dinner and lunch. I like a really strong coffee for breakfast, but I never really like a big hearty meal. Carbs as such. My tummy puffs out too much. It's not my favorite. There we go. Yes. Yeah. That was my bag. Nothing like a bowl of cereal for dinner. That's when you know you're an adult with complete control over your own decisions. Or your parents are giving you free reign. Oh, wow. Wow. Steve, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. I would have thought it was, I probably would have guessed you were 12 hours different. Any advice for someone pivoting and trying something new? You know what? I reckon, I could tell you what I reckon, but I reckon a lot of people can give you good advice on that. When it comes to trying something new, if you're doing it creatively, I'm not the only person who can tell you what to do there. There is literally anyone who's ever done something new, an apprenticeship, a business, a job, everyone's taken that giant step. And I guess all I'd say is the insecurity and the vulnerability you feel leaping off the deep end and trying something new is not just yours. It's what every single person has ever felt when they've tried something new. It's natural, it's okay, and as long as you have a good time, not a single second will be wasted. And that's cool because having a good time is the one thing that you personally have control over. Yeah, sorry. I had the elephant sitting down talking about it on the previous stream. It's a print, but it's replacing one that was in my collection that I gave to someone. So now I've got Africa. And that's my little elephant in the background. Oh, so Steve is 23 hours different. But yeah, super close in terms of time that kind of matters. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Excuse me while I just dab these little bits around this face. Whew. Hello, Session. Appreciate you. Yeah. See. We're going to come back to these siennas, but I'm just going to swap them out for a moment because I want some greens. These areas down through here are crying out to me. So we'll get that sorted. And you know what? Team, people, loved ones, gorgeous people from all around the world, inside and out. I think we're in a wonderful position with this painting. I think if we continue to roll out great strokes over the next, just be guessing, but 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Now, I may have jinxed the entire operation, take that into account, but I think we could be in the sort of finishing window of this painting, which on one hand breaks my heart because we've done this a few times and couples are so much fun to paint. But on the other hand, it's kind of cool seeing another one come together. And that would definitely mean that we need to start another commission within the next 24 hours because I hate having... I like to have about 2 works at any given time on the go. And the reason I like 2 works on the go is because it's sort of kind of like Star Wars. There can only be 2 with the Sith. But no, it feels good in terms of you connect yourself with these paintings. You get quite personal with them. And so when they leave the studio, there is a part of you which is feeling like you've been left behind almost, or like you're losing something. But the key that I find to deal with that is to have something else coming, something else to look forward to straight after the painting, to move on to actually stop yourself from getting withdrawals, really. Because you put love behind painting, just like you put love behind anything. I imagine with a jeweler, he or she would put immense amounts of love into what they make. But once the jewelry's all gone, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. But I can tell you one thing. If it hurts to let go of your artwork, if you want to keep it, if you miss it, if you feel like you don't want to see it go, you're making it right. Because if you're really excited to think, oh, I'm glad that one's gone, jeepers, get out of the studio, you might have made it for the wrong reasons. You want to fall in love with these pieces. Hey, Zeekman. All right, let's get the paint off this brush. Beautiful. We're on quite a small brush right now, team. There it is. Okay. And what's happening here? I think this little fun thing. This is always fun. I like doing this. You can touch this. What's going on here? Customize. Okay, what's all this stuff? I'm sorry, guys. I might accidentally break this thing. But with a bit of luck, I'll get it right. Is that like that? Is that like that? No. 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 It's asking me to fill a treasure chest with gifts. Customize your gift box. The effects will play back to back. Should I give it a go? If I touch that, that happens. Action is unavailable in your region. Okay, well, we had fun. I enjoyed myself. Ashy, look, serious concern, most likely, definitely. But in the meantime, I didn't break it, but I am just having a little bit of a... I always like to peruse these things. There's so many wild things you can do. You can add stickers to it, which I'm not sure why, but I'm sure they're very exciting. Exclusive gift panels. Thanks, Wendy. Appreciate you. And effects, enhance, music, voice effects, sound effects. So I touch this one and I press. Okay. I'm going to stop playing now. I'm sorry. That was clapping for the baby, though. If it, hopefully it stopped. I don't know if it stopped, but anyway. Anyway, greens on the painting. Stick to what we know. Betty, yes, indeed. Your artist is going to be a father. I'm very excited. All right. Here's our tray. A little bit of paint. Little bit of paint. But just enough to get in here and add some of these pale greens to this background. There we go. That's what we need. Just little touches. End of March. That's going to be here before you know it. Before you know it. Funny how fast time moves, guys. Facebook's giving me those suggestions where it's like, hey, remember this from 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 14 years ago? And you're like, yeah, time flies. Time flies. Sometimes in a good way. Sometimes in a, man, wish. How many things in the future, in about 15 years' time, will you look back on and think, wish I'd X. Wish I'd done this. Wish I'd seen, done, said, loved. What are we currently not doing? What are we missing out on? I always wondered that. It is, Betty, a girl. It is a lovely baby girl. Which is pretty exciting. Lovely baby girl, and I haven't told you guys what the name might be. I haven't told you what the expecting date is. But both are pretty exciting. So that is inbound. The information is inbound. That's absolutely lovely, Betty. I really appreciate that. It's a lovely gesture. In due time, Wendy. We've still got a abundance of excitement about the fact that it's happening. But that's the next thing to come. The name and the due date, which is also pretty exciting. It's a special day. So that's gonna be fun. There we go. Keeping it a secret. Keeping it a secret. I'm not gonna give anything away. Hey Kobe, how you doing? Imagine if it was the Kobe Bryant joined in on the stream, hanging out with Sid Gow doing some paintings. It'd be pretty funny. Oh, my love. Why would all of a sudden ghost get stuck in my head? We're talking about babies. Oh well, the mind works mysterious ways. Sky LA, it's fantastic. I'm just going to bring you out there a little bit and twist you around just a little bit. Here we go. Darling, I actually got made to watch Ghost for the first time the other day. I've quoted it a whole lot, but I've never actually watched the movie. So that was pretty exciting and thoroughly enjoyed it. Yobi, I love your enthusiasm. I love your enthusiasm, but I've never seen your name before. So I'm afraid we won't be having you joining for this live. But that is a fun feature. The only problem with it, I'd love to do multiple artists, but the only problem is you end up actually splitting the screen in quite funny ways. So I guess the best way is just to go separately live, and then you can flick through the art category. It's probably the best way. Probably the best way. Oh, my love. Okay, a little bit of green. Again, popping green. We want to get that green in the background. Powerful. Dashing. There we go. Hey, Irene. It always makes me laugh when I go through the replays and just flick through them, and then I get to a point where little things appear on the stream. Hey, Ray. It's always funny. Great question. Yes and no. So I have crept around with a few brush strokes, but nothing too intense. I'm actually framing this one with a floating frame that does not float, so it's going to be pushed up against it. That's my plan for this one. I didn't start with that plan. I've developed it as I've gone. I think that's the best way. I don't want a giant frame. I don't want an obnoxious, space-consuming floating one. I want something just a little more subtle, classy, and effective. That's what I reckon. Then we'll bring out some paint through here. Tony, you realise I'm a father. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I'd assume what your meaning is towards the art. One day you'd like to own a Sidgar original, and you know what? I think that is absolutely courageous. But only if it's going to bring you satisfaction, bring you happiness, and bring you joy. Don't just own one because you think it's cool. Never buy art because it's cool. That's the worst reason to purchase art. Best time to buy art is when you emotionally connect with it and it's meaningful to you. That's the best way to do it. But I feel like we don't trust our own emotions, and that's a bad thing. So not in touch with how we feel that when we like something, we're not willing to trust ourselves enough to purchase it for ourselves. And so everyone else will tell us what we should like. And then we spend our money on that. And then we wonder why our homes don't make us happy. Sometimes. I always love a person with the confidence to say, no, this is what I want. This is what I like. I love my home because I fill it with things that I love. Even if it's not everything you love, if you have a partner who has things that they love, and you have this sort of compromise where you both put beautiful things inside the house, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. This house is a little bit like that. Here we go. Beautiful. Creep around the side. Right the way down with the grass. Oh, my love, darling, I still be mine. Ooh, Bryson. I've got two. I say two because this one here hasn't been started. So two. Two commissions, three commissions, two that I've started. Three commissions, two that I've started, and then two personal projects completely separate and unrelated to anything that happens in the real world. I hope that answers the question. So actually, you started off answering the question, then you made the whole thing horribly inaccurate and challenging to understand. There we go. Yes, it is. It's funny though, because when you say FT job, it sounds like a feature job, in which case it wouldn't be a full-time gig. There we go. All right. We're going to stand that down now. I'm really happy with that. That's exactly where I want this piece to be. All right. I'm going to spin this around and show you guys. But we're going to give this spin around. You can see the texture that's going on. And again, like I say, we're not trying to do a perfect job with the details. What we're actually trying to do is capture a moment of love with tons of color everywhere, cascading in all directions. So anyway, let's put this one somewhere where it can sit for a while. And what we do is, what we do is, as I leave it, I let the, screw a bit of this. Just a little bit on this top part. You view it and hang out with it for a number of days, just to make sure you've got everything exactly as you want it. Beautiful. Just like that. Wonderful. All right. Let me get this one over here. Just plop it down over here. And then, incoming team. I'll let it dry. Well, acrylics will dry in 2 days, but that won't be the end of the process. That won't be the end of the process because it needs to, first off, be examined and make sure we're happy with it. That's a big one. And Jay Delper, you better not have forgotten about it. I was actually looking at your email address today, wondering, do I send him another email or am I being rude now? But yes, get in touch with me, Jay. Let's talk. I'm wildly excited for it. Great question, Bryson. It can vary depending on the season. Going into your golden, Jay. At the end of the day, you've got me locked in. Whenever, I'm here for you, mate. It can take, from the start to finish the commission, usually about 20 days, which gives me a margin of error as well. But depending on how many commissions are going at any given time, it can take longer. At the moment, it's about, it was previously a month. I think it's probably still around a month, guys. A month on the waiting, just because there's a few pieces going at the moment. This is one that we're having to, so we've got 2 at the moment after that one, straight away. This one here and this one here, both lovely pieces. Steve, I'm going to wait with fire on this one. Because I want to start it outside. It feels more right. And I think tomorrow is going to be sunny. So that's the best idea with that one. Doesn't feel right to start it inside. Next week, Christmas Day, Bryson, you need to jump online and fill out that commission form. First off, you can show me the picture, the size, and where in the world you're based. Because if you're in Madagascar, shipping's a little bit longer. But if you're in America and you're after, say, anything from 36 to 48 inches to 24 to 36 inches, you should be totally fine. We should be able to map that out for Christmas Day. Speaking of Christmas Day, that's what that one's for. Varanasi, Ashy, you want to know a funny thing about that piece? The owner of Varanasi is currently in this chat room. Varanasi's final home is in Bada Bing Bada Boom, Phuket. in Phuket, which is very exciting. I love that picture. It's yeah, that's a special face. It's a special face. Anyway, I've got some proper write-ups that need to go with them that I've been working on. You're all good, Bryson. You're all good. It lets me prep as well, because when I answering these questions gives me time to sort of get in the groove between paintings as we sort of psychologically break from that one and connect to this one. I know that sounds cheesy. I'm not a wishy-washy kind of guy, but it does sort of happen. Like when you go from one, imagine relationship, when you bounce on too fast, it's hard to make a psychological transition. Or if you go through conversations about work and you go from marketing to systems, it's sort of jarring. So it's good to take time in between the swap over. With your experience, what medium art technique would you pair with hyperrealism charcoal drawing? I know just the guy, actually. He's not hyperrealism, but he is realism. He uses charcoal and paints mainly figures, nudes, to my understanding. That's what I see him doing most of the time. And then he uses splattered paint. So he combines quite simplistically, the backgrounds are always white, so they're very simple in that sense. But he combines the simplicity of realism with the outrageous nature of splashing surreal paint. And that juxtaposition is sort of his comment through all the work. He may one day hear that and be like, Seb missed the boat completely. But that's what I get from it. I get the black and white realism of the characters he uses, and then the flicks of paint he does afterwards being the abstract expression style that juxtaposes with it. So, what's his name though? What's his name? He's a bald guy. Looks like he'll be around 35. I don't know. I don't know. He's got a name. I've just forgotten it in this context. And now I need my iPad because I need some photos. Da 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 dee da 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 do. Da 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 dee da. What does he use? What's his name? I think it starts with an A. I think it's Ashvin. Ashvin? Oh God, I'm in trouble. I think I should know his name. I've been following him for a couple of months now. I mean, he might be a German guy. I haven't ever heard his voice. I think he might be German or Australian, or he does a lot of topless videos. I don't mean to make this weird, but he does a lot of topless videos, and he likes showing off his art, which, I mean, don't get your hopes up. We're not doing that here, but he does do that, and I don't know. Maybe he gets art sales. Maybe that's a trick that I need to start doing. But he paints really expressively, makes tons of reels, and it's really fun. I'm just going to move this in here. So I'm just bringing the images. The next image I'm going to be using up on this tablet is the plan. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. And hello, user. I think Glenn's on the money. I think you know this guy, Glenn. Now that you say German makes me think, yeah, I think he is. Oh, fantastic. Imparted by Brittany. Yes, you've got him. Cool. Gold leaf and alcohol inks and hyperrealism. Yes, Ash, that's the guy. I recognize the name now. Well done. If anyone wants to know what random tangent I was on, that's the guy. When we talk about hyperrealism and combining things into it, he combines the realism of black and white figure drawing to the juxtaposition of wild cascading paint. It's a fairly basic juxtaposition, but it's effective, and sometimes basic is good. Like, in terms of entering the art industry as well, basic provides buying confidence. Like, maybe you don't want something out there and outrageous and emotionally driven. Maybe you just want something nice for the wall. Like, tick the box, baby. I'm on board. My art's amazing. Thanks, Jay Delpa. It depends. I'm like a shot of whiskey. In terms of my art, you either think it's the best things in sliced bread, or you think that I'm just an absolute no-hoper. Because we add that huge amounts of movement in there. We let the realism slip from our fingertips. We still keep enough of it that you can see what the picture is, but I'll let it slip in favor of capturing that transposed vitality and happiness onto the canvas. And we do that, like you see in the reels, with a whole bunch of movement, because I feel like if you apply the strokes with movement, then as a viewer, you can sort of see how that painting came to be and capture a little bit of that joy within it. Sky, yes indeed. Get out there, have some fun, don't compare yourself to others. If you are going to compare yourself to others, do it only on regards to how much fun you're having. Because the person who's having the most fun in the room, while you're just having fun painting, is clearly the best at it. If the goal is to have fun and you're having the most, doesn't matter what the painting looks like. Okay, here we go. I'm not just checking my Insta while I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually scrolling for the thing I'm after. Here we go. Dim the lights down to very low. Here we go. There we go. Now, it's going to be interesting because the dog we add into this shot, I haven't spliced the pictures yet, so we're going to do it a little bit of a splice ourselves. Save the photos. There we go. And dim the lights down to very low. Here we go. Okay, that's our dog. Copy. And then we go like this. I'm getting there. Do you know how many arts you did make yet? It's a good question. I feel like I've made... I mean, when you say made, there's multiple definitions to that. Thanks, Alvaro. Is the definition you're talking about artwork that's been sold as commissions, artwork that's been painted and given away, every picture I've ever touched? Every picture I've ever touched, we're talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Pieces that have been sold, pieces that have actually exist in the world. These are all different questions. So I guess the answer is more ambiguous than a simple number. Now, where is the thing I'm after? At the page. I'm just doing a cheeky little splice here. There we go. And we're going to add Bing at the page. Gotta go cook dinner. Pomade, Ashley. Catch you later. Sorry for getting so caught up with the editing this image, but I'm almost there. I swear. There we go. Perfect. So there's a few features inside this image that we're going to ignore, but on the most part, there we go. Make sure our scale's correct. Stand on back. Yep, perfect. There we go. So this time, quite a simple shot, guys. G'day, Paul. Now, ignore these two dogs, and this is just the early layer, so the reference isn't too important, but we've got a child here, a dog down by his feet, and then a background with these bamboo poles flying up and concrete on the ground. Fairly basic and fairly fun. That is the plan. That is the plan. Bring it in here nice and close like. But this is going to be fun. You'll see this from the ground up. And let's see where it takes us. Okay. Is that... Let me just arc you guys around a little bit. a smaller canvas. We'll bring you to there. How's that? Make you happy? Okay. You see, it's good canvas. It's well stretched, and the reason it doesn't sound, still sounds a little bit like a drum, but actually it's been coated with a plastic coating, so it's actually far more stiff. And a stiff canvas is a good canvas because I push really, really hard. And that noise, that rasping noise, is the tooth in the canvas. Sip and paint. Ooh, hello, sip and paint. I think I've seen you guys around. Okay, no more distractions. We're going to kick off with black. Am I that boring and predictable? I think I am. We're going to do it. All right, small plate though, because black is not the most exciting color in the world. It's a definer, guys. When it comes to painting, it defines, and so you can use it, but at the expense of every other color. So when you start, obviously that's a nice time to use it, but as you get more and more layers, realize that the inclusion of black is going to negate your use of blues, yellows, reds, purples, greens, oranges. Everything else will give way to black. It will win. And so you have to decide, will you, at the expense of a saturated color palette, create more definition, or let the definition slide in favor of a wild color palette? All right. Outline first. Yeah. If you don't know immediately that you want to use blue, red, green, purple, whatever, then it's always a safe bet to go with the black to start with. But honestly, there is no rules. And if there were, it'd be clever to break them. Think of them more like parlay in Pirates of the Caribbean, where everything's more like guidelines than general rules. You know what Pirates of the Caribbean would really slap with, though? Some really good lore. But I suppose I've already got the real pirates and things like that, but I enjoyed the Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp was fun. Johnny Depp was fun. So, with these early layers, we're not too hung up on exactly where the paint wants to go. We're more just having fun, applying it to the surface. Wonder. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Max, we appreciate you being here. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to cool off. There we go. Now, coming through here. Lots of black, guys. Lots of black. And then up through here too. Since there's no color on there at the moment, the color that you see, the sort of bluish thing that is there, this is literally just because I added a bit of color into the primer, which was naughty of me. Totally okay. Just wanted to have some fun with it. Hello, all the way to Greece. I was spending some time with a friend recently who made me Greek street food, which was like a taco with chips in it. Was that legit? Is that street food in Greece? It's pretty yummy. Had like tomato sauce, not tomato sauce, like a tzatziki or like a, is that the word for it? A yogurty thing inside it. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. There we go. Yeah, that's the one. All right. All right. This is exciting. Greek street food. And for the first time in my life, that's why I'm telling you. How many people here know the band Crowded House? They're a New Zealand band, so probably not, to be honest. I'm probably just dreaming. Aha, thanks, Bam Bam. Appreciate you. You have an art exam. All right, well, good luck for it. Sending you all the best wishes from the New Zealand studio. I'm sure you'll smash it. Lots of black. When I say when we talk about doing the outlines to start with, this doesn't mean exactly measure every moment out. This means see shapes, paint shapes. If the first layer isn't fun, you'll never, ever get fun built into it. It's your responsibility off the bat to build the fun into it from the start. You like them more than 660? Fair enough. Fair enough. There we go. Lovely. Spread this black out a little bit more around here. Taylor Swift song. Oh, I like that song, All Too Well. That's a heart touch of a song. And then I like the song Anti-Hero. Probably a little bit overplayed now. And I like the song Shake It, Shake That, Shake. Don't know exactly what it's called. And Love Story. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Good song. And then I like, what else do I like? She's got a whole bunch of bangers, guys. The reason why she's really famous is most of her stuff's bangers. She's lovely. Kind of a fun person too. Her lyrics are a bit, they're crazy, but it's funny. So, oh no, those are some crazy lyrics. Ah, but you relate to them, so you're crazy too. That's why you like the music. We're all a little crazy. I think I saw a question earlier too. I didn't mean to ignore it, but I got sidetracked about the bing, 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 bing artists that I love. So fairly boring on the artists I love. I'm a huge fan of Picasso. I love Van Gogh. I like, who else do I like? Van Gogh, Picasso, Monet, Rembrandt. Everyone's like, ugh, what a boring answer that is. Yeah, I like the classics. And that's part of the reason I studied art history. So I've got a soft spot for the classics. She's got a doco on Netflix? Of course she does. Of course she does. There we go. We might swap onto a smaller brush here. Big brushes have their place, but they're not the best. There we go. There we go. Yeah, medium brush, guys. This is what does the trick. The most important thing to know about Monet and Van Gogh, not so much Picasso and Rembrandt, but Monet and Van Gogh, is that they did not make art to make money. Van Gogh struggled to sell pieces, and Monet wasn't much different. They had side gigs. Van Gogh actually sold artwork, sold other people's artwork to pay to make his own. And the size of his artwork was actually very similar to the amount of funds he had available at any given time. So he would prefer to paint big, but he never really had the budget for it. That being said, that means typically he would have painted bigger if he had a bigger wallet. They reckon. I reckon. We all reckon. Point being. Sorry, just get a little bit through here. Point being that they made money to make art, not make art to make money. And that's an important distinction to make as an artist. It may be the case that the world does not like what you make, but you have to stick to what's true and meaningful for you. And that may mean you'll need a side gig. And that is okay. You are still an artist, a real bona fide artist, and not someone with imposter syndrome. You're real. And one day, maybe, if you're lucky, you'll find your people. Or, like Van Gogh, you may take that risk and never, ever reach the fame until after you're gone, if at all. But as long as what you make you do with love, authenticity, care, then it doesn't matter what the results of the art is, only that it's creation and who it was shared with was beautiful. Oh, thanks, Ellie. It's from an op shop. It cost me a few dollars, maybe $5. And I've already got paint on it, so I'm not as clever as I think I am. Say hi, True. Of course. Hey, True, how you doing? Great to have you as a fan. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you get something out of seeing some art being created. Because I get a real kick out of sharing it with you. So I'm glad we could do that together. Now, the only thing I worry about with these early coats, guys, the only thing that matters, because you're not just free of any rules, is you have to make sure you keep that texture flat. Don't let it blossom out. If it blossoms out, because we didn't put down guidelines, things might be in the wrong place. And if they're in the wrong place, our texture's in the wrong place, and the future strokes we use to correct them will be harder to make. Not impossible, just harder. So, to make it easy on ourselves, be wild, but be flat. Keep that texture nice and workable. Thanks, Sky. Well, honestly, there's not much else going on in the chat room, so of course, it'd be rude of me not to have time for True. Art competitions? Absolutely. Provided you're entering them for the right reasons. Are you entering them because you just want to win and get some money? If you want money, don't waste your time on an art competition. Probably do a day's work somewhere. If you want to connect with people and you'll find the opportunity fun, and it'll be a stimulating day out, and it's a way for your friends and family to see what you're doing, absolutely, get involved. That's really cool. I support you, and I hope you have a great time. But make sure you understand you're leading with intention and understanding why you're there, so that way, even if you don't win, because only one artist is going to win, you don't think, oh, well, that was a waste of time because I didn't win. It's not about winning. Since when was art about winning? Art's probably the only thing, human expression, that has nothing to do with winning. So, yes, competitions are great, and yes, in a competition someone needs to win, but there's so much more to that for art, and so much more to it for you if you're in that competition. So, don't get caught up in the prize giving being the most meaningful part of it. The most meaningful part of it is the fact that you're given a platform to share with people and actually connect. That's what's important. What am I going for in this painting? No. It won't be dark and spooky. It'll look that way to start with. There's concrete on the ground that we're grabbing now. And there's black bars up here and things. But no, we're just going for a really, really wholesome, colourful, captured moment. So we've got the gentleman in the white that have asked for this painting. This is their son, and this is a dog. That means a lot to them. You won't see much of the dog because the skin blends in with the concrete. But it'll pop out as bits go on. But the point of that is our only job is to make sure we have some fun with the colour palette, we capture some of the likeness, and we just play with the overall composition, which does have a lot to play with. These bars and things like that, they're not just going to be black. skyrocketing up into the distance, we're going to capture all sorts of colours inside them, all sorts of depth, all sorts of movements, and just enjoy making a painting, really. It's going to be a bit of a kick. What do I enjoy painting more of? I like black and white subjects, usually old people, and the reason I like that is you can capture all their evidence of smiles, all their little moments, and their wrinkles. We were talking about this earlier. And with the black and white, you get given this amazing opportunity for free reign over all the colours you could possibly use. Over that wild colour palette, it can go in all sorts of directions and make the biggest, craziest picture you can possibly imagine. I reckon that's pretty cool. Now, I'll hang around. Nimi NZ, yes I do. How romantic. I've forgotten what I was saying already, but Nimi NZ, yes I do. I'm a full-time artist. This is my gig. I come on here and I paint commissions. I share the process with you guys just because it's wildly fun. And honestly, I was talking to an interviewer maybe a week ago now, a lovely Canadian girl who was over in Australia to meet her in-laws. And she was saying the number one thing that artists are dealing with right now is isolation and loneliness. And of course, that's always been the case. But that's one fantastic thing that happens here. I can be painting for 8 hours by myself, or usually I go down to the beach or to a park or somewhere where interaction can occur, where people can come up and talk to me, where I can engage with them, where they can watch for a little bit and things like that. But to have the ability to just touch a button on a screen and then to share a relationship whereby maybe you can get something over being part of quite an intimate process and I can get something because I'm not alone. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're painting a boy sitting on concrete with some bars behind him and a dog here. It's going to be pretty fun. But if you are an artist and you don't have if you don't think that going live on social media is the right thing for you, totally get it. I would suggest going down to the beach or going to a park or going to somewhere where seniors can stop by. Seniors are so lovely, and children, when it comes to your painting. Children, no matter what you're painting, they'll like it. Seniors, they're always very respectful. And you'll get that interaction, those special moments. And you know what? Even if your painting falls to pieces, you might just make someone's day. And isn't that worth it? I reckon that's worth it. Well, Nimi, if you want to see some work, there's currently jeepers. You can go through social media, obviously, and then in the bio, there's a link into a link tree, which will take you to the website. From there, you'll see a few pieces. There's no originals listed. Nothing. I'm sold out of originals, but if you need something on the ASAP, I keep 2 or 3 works, 3 right now, in my home, just so I don't feel like I'm giving everything away. So I keep a few bits. At the moment, a bit naughty, but it's Hercules, if you saw Hercules being made. Hibiscus Surf, and the other one, if anyone's been here for a while, you'll remember Ernest Hemingway. He's in my collection. So that is pretty fun. Sorry guys, I've got a cup of tea, and it is genuinely tea. And then I've got a kiwi fruit, chocolate, and yogurt blended milkshake. Just to keep me hydrated. I get really, really anxious when I'm painting, and about to sneeze. Oh, we're good. I get anxious when I'm painting, and I start getting hungry because I need to eat all the time. And I start getting hungry, and my belly starts to rumble, and the mic's right here, and I wonder if anyone can hear my belly rumbling, so I get weird about that. So I typically find having a shake or having a drink with me to stop the belly rumbles is what's going on here. So there's my naughty little secret. You'd think it was because, it keeps me mentally stimulated. I'm sure it does. It does all these sort of things. Oh, sound's gone. Is sound gone? Let me have a look-see here. Bada bing bub. Sounds. We should have sound, Jay. We should have sound. You can hear fine? Cool. Everyone's got sound. Mean. Cheers, guys. I was going to say that, yes, it probably does help with mental clarity. It probably does help with the energy levels, etc. I don't typically do it when I'm outside in the middle of nature because I might get the stitch. But I think most of all it stops the belly rumbles. So that's a little fact for you. All right. Here we go. I'm going to grab just a little bit of green. It's going to be a naughty touch. We can't go all out on this picture, guys, only because it's going to limit us with those blacks having a little bit of an impact on every colour we add. So we can play around with the picture, add some little bits and pieces in on it, but all the colours will carry, ambulance, carry an element of that underlying black layer. So we have to understand that and appreciate it for what it is. This is the boy's legs. And we're really not painting exact legs. It's not about that. We're just slashing around some paint, having some fun. He's got a bowl on his lap. Same colour as the legs. Just add it on in there. A little bit of light. Here we go. Slash that way a little bit. This is going to come a bit further out there. And then we got a little puppy dog. I swear he was, well, that's not the case at all. These are from an op shop, and they're actually, I like them a lot because they're super stretch, but I'm typically a 34, and they're size 36. But for some reason, if you've ever tried it on, who's had Gasoline, the brand? I always find whatever Gasoline says their shorts and shirts are, it's that minus 2 inches. So I typically like, so they're 36s. But they're not 36s, they fit like 34s. I'm not 36 waistline. No, I'm a 34 waistline, so. But gone are the days where I can squeeze into 33s and 32s. And typically I find if you're not wearing super stretch, you don't move as much as well. So stretch pants are great, because otherwise you leave the bottom or you try and niggle away. But with stretch ones, you just crouch, you paint, you come back up. You're not bothered by it. Kind of cool. I noticed some paintings I made, and I was like, why have you gone so weird in the bottom corners of them? Why didn't you do it right? And I realized, oh, you were wearing regular denim. So you couldn't bend over properly. And you just didn't realize, because you were so excited while you were painting, that you just lacked connecting with this whole area of the painting in your own little world. This piece of art will not be available. Occasionally, we do pieces that will become available. Hercules, Ernest Hemingway, and things like that. But they're not really for sale yet. I've just been enjoying them. I want to make sure I'm 100% happy with them. I am happy with Herc, and I am happy with Ernest in this case. But I'm not ready to part with them yet, because I don't have anything else to replace them with inside my own home. And I'm a little bit selfish like that. Sorry, team. I still don't think I've fully recovered from losing who's me what's it? Varanasi. Steve. He was in my hallway and I was just absolutely in love with that picture. Absolutely in love. He was just the coolest thing. Camera setup. I chop and change. Depending on the day. We've all been here while I've been low on battery, so I've swapped from iPads to iPhones to cameras to whatever's around. Honestly, camera, iPhone, fine. Samsung, fine. Don't let your camera setup get in the way of you having a good time on stream. It's more about just having fun. Sometimes I forget that and I get too caught up with thinking, oh, the camera angle and the lighting and the this and the that needs to be perfect. Well, actually, for the OG crowd, it doesn't all need to be perfect. I just prefer I showed up. And so sometimes I need to remind myself of that and think, actually, the lighting is fine. The environment is fine. Just get on there and spend some time with everyone. And hopefully you can make someone's day, you know? So in that sense, I think I'm growing up, getting less concerned with the basics. Like before, when I was first starting to stream, I'd be like, I can't stream right now. It's getting dark. And it is getting dark outside. But, it's fine. We've got a light here. It's keeping it well lit enough. Thanks, Brittany. And actually, that's what I'm talking about. That's the feeling I get too. Provided I can paint, I'm in a mental state healthy enough to produce artwork that carries love in it, that transposes a bit of vitality and has a bit of joy through it, then absolutely, Seb, get in front of a canvas, stop whinging, and who cares if the sun's in the wrong position? There's enough things in this world to care about rather than something that changes every single day. That's what I reckon. Luna, hello. I'm doing fantastic, Luna. Good to have you in here. You changed your profile picture. I can't see what it's of, but I can see it's small. How about when I get older, I'll give it back to you? Well, Steve, I've actually just been a sad sack, Steve, because I've actually got a A1, so a full-scale print of Varanasi. So I'm sitting here being like, oh, I want it back. Well, I've actually got a full-scale print. Like it's the size. It's literally the size of the Little Prince of Siam. It's huge. It's huge. But there's just something about the original when you see through the layers, through the paint and all the... it's just a really, really cool piece. It's with a style that I'm not doing as much of anymore, with a glistening liquid glass look, and it's just... it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that one. That one gets talked about a lot. Right, let's keep going. So, guys, you'll start to notice, what is this size? That's a great question. I had this one. This one's a unique size. It's not my typical ones. It's 34 by 24. Usually I'm doing 36 by 24. So you might notice it's just a little bit stubbier on the top side, but it's pretty cool. I like this size. This is as small as I like to go. You can sort of see me as I stand in front of it when I move. I'm reaching all the corners very effectively. When it gets smaller, my movements become sort of stuck, small, inhibited. And when you go bigger, they become more flowy. So you'd only extend this canvas in size. Another foot that way, foot that way. Once we go further, I actually start getting my back twisted and you actually won't land the strokes very well. Then down here, another foot, another foot. So you've got about 12 inches to add to each side. I'm sorry, Jules. I'll tell you what, Jules. If I ever muster the courage one day to part with my my copy of it, then I'll send you a message first. But I have got some old school prints that, because when they started to sell out, I thought, jeepers, they're all going to go. And so I kept 2 or 3 of certain prints back. Now, that means that for exactly that situation, we can bring a few of them out. Like Mahalo. I've got 2 Mahalos. Naughty. This is back from another time, guys. Another time. It's back from when the prints were like very, very short run. There's like 5s and 10s of them and things. It's pretty rude. But it does make those initial prints pretty special. If you're holding on to a Zambezi, an Aboriginal, a Varanasi, a Mahalo, what are some other ones? Santa Fe. any of these ones, you're holding on to something pretty rare and special, guys. Like, there's not many of those out there. Oh, thanks, Nimmies. That is one I'm still working on here in the studio. I bring it out every now and again. Nimmy, a wild card thing about the Liberty statue, it's entirely made out of egg yolk, egg tempera, which means that into perpetuity for the next 2,000 years, that is going to keep its colour. It's never going to yellow, if looked after correctly, which is pretty cool. Even oils after 500 years start to yellow. So kudos to those. So basically, I got the eggs, I separated the yolks, I added in the pigment, mixed the paint, made the Statue of Liberty. So I made the paint and made the Liberty statue all in the same go with you guys, which was pretty cool. So that one's actually got a really fun story behind it. So if you were after something for your office space, Nimmy, that is one, but it's not ready yet. I'll show you the picture when it's finished. Is longevity the point? Yeah, it really is. Imagine if you bought a Rolex watch or a t-shirt or a laptop. Imagine, you know how upset everyone was when they figured about planned obsolescence with phones? Imagine if I sold you a piece of art and I said to you, in 5 years, that surface will be cracked, the piece will be destroyed, and you cannot pass it on to your grandchildren, your children. You cannot, when you move house in 5 years' time, don't bother bringing that. It'll be yellow and destroyed. It would ruin it. If you're going to get a picture of yourself done, of you and your wife, of you and your family, something that's going to be meaningful, that it's actually going to go down through, you think, actually, I'm going to get my family so then I can pass it on to my kids when it can't fit in my house anymore. It'll be something special. Or, for example, you're going to get a picture of you when you were younger, surfing a wave, doing something. It's nice to know that that's going to be like that for at least decades. At least. If it's not going to do decades, this is bad. I see art that was made 5 years ago that's starting to crack and discolour. And I think, did you know that that was going to do that within 5 years? And then you look at pieces like The Last Supper, when you look at Mona Lisa. Now these things, yes, they're very old and they're very special, but they last the test of time. There's an expectation on us to do the same thing. So when I start talking about getting a surface like this, so this one here is a completely prepped surface. This is AC panel, so it's like a very, very thin sheet of metal. And then on top of it, we've sanded it. We've sanded it with 220 grit sandpaper, not more than that, otherwise we can damage it. 220 grit sandpaper, sizing coat. That used to be rabbit skin glue. Now I use a synthetic medium to make sure animals aren't hurt, obviously. And that synthetic medium, the sizing medium, is an acrylic binder, which is stuff that you really need to wear a gas mask with. And then on top of that, you can put gesso depending on the medium that you're using. So, sorry. Hate the sales pitch? Didn't you ask, is longevity the point? I was telling you that longevity is not the point, but a really important quality. Longevity is a craft element, and craft needs to be inside of it. Otherwise, I mean, there are artists who completely destroy the idea of longevity by painting on the beach, by doing, very, very transient, disappearing artwork. Lade, I'm seeing a little bit of aggression there. Let's just give you a stand down period. We'll bring you in shortly. But we are making art. But you were the one asking the questions, and I was super keen to answer them. So positivity would be cool. Saw that painting you just recently did, Surfer, in the gallery. Which one? Well, in the gallery, the Surfer in the gallery. Possibly. Possibly. And the Liberty one, yeah, reach out. It's going to change a little bit, so I'll send you photos of the finished product. I was saying before that artwork's similar to a high school crush, in that you think you love them when it starts, and then as it changes through life, you may look at the artwork at the end and think, not the right fit for me. So let me finish the piece off, And then I'll send you some shots of it, and you might say, yes, I'm in love with it, I want it. Or you'll say, I now see what you were saying, I'm not that into it. So let's figure that out. Yeah, thanks, Steve. That is 100% correct. And actually, this one here is this. Yeah. Sorry, guys. This is there is like obviously sales, cool, that's important, but actually, like I say, interviews with Canadian lady, lovely lady, and like she said, artists are battling with loneliness. And also, I think a lot of people see art and then think, oh, that's pretty, but you never get to get inside the mind of an artist to understand what makes them tick. And there's like a mixture of things. There's confused emotions, there's a struggle to be vulnerable, there's a struggle to be exposed. I battle with that. And there's there's always a hint of crazy and quirkiness in there. Absolutely. Return of the plates. Yes, Jade. We're back on the plates. I couldn't help myself. You know I couldn't. You knew I was going to be back to the plates. You knew that. Sorry, Brittany. Yes. Time competition. So that was art battle. We had 3 rounds, 20 minutes a round. No, so there were more rounds. I got kicked out on the 3rd round. The audience was getting just a wee bit sick of me. Nah, it was all good. It was really fun. I had the first round was a surfer. So I just used lots of vibrant colours, put something quite fun together. Second round, we did a lady in the audience. And then the 3rd round was the mushrooms. And each one was quite spontaneous. I gave the pictures to someone in the first round and said, choose something for me. And they wanted the surfer. The second round, I wanted to capture the person with the most wildly creative outfit there, which was the lady in the blue top, yellow scarf, and red earrings, which I missed in the picture. Just like, come on, Sebastian. And then the 3rd picture was the mushrooms. And the reason we did that was because I asked a young lady, I said, what should I paint? She said, mushroom farm. Mushroom farm inbound. And so that's what we did. Had a really good time though. Sorry. You've been too distracting, guys. I'm supposed to be applying paint while I talk. But the surface of this one is getting a little bit gummy. So we'll run this tray out and then I better get started with dinner because I'm pushing the time out. If I let it go too late, then the lady who's currently giving me my beautiful baby girl will go hungry. And that would be a disaster. Can't have that, team. Can't have that. Now, well, that's a good thing. I'm not going to teach you, now bear in mind here, you will learn no hard skills here. I will not teach you how to mix paint. I will not teach you how to create gradients, well, in fact, that's a lie. I showed you how to make paint tempera, but I don't want to teach hard skills of layering, of painting things perfectly and things like that. There is a million YouTube videos done by really, really good professionals who can show you this sort of stuff. But I'm going to show you how to express yourself, how to have a good time, how to be vulnerable, how to be exposed, how to be transparent. Honestly, I was terrified of it. I was at the age of early 20s, late teens. I was an insecure kid, I thought I knew what it was to be a man and be manly, and I was pursuing those things, and honestly, I was just confused. And now, the ability to actually be open, be yourself, and show people who you are is something that I realize is so, so potent, because if you can do it authentically in a real way, and for me, I'm a quirky, weird individual. Like I was saying the reel the other day. But if you can do it, it's amazing how you can actually connect with people. How actually, if you're real, they can then get permission to be themselves. And I liken it to Jim Carrey as an actor, because for him, he would act so melodramatic and out the gate. And you love him or hate him, I totally get it. But he would act so crazy. And through that, by being the furthest out there person he could be, everyone else got permission to do anything they wanted because they couldn't possibly look as silly as he did. And to give everyone that kind of permission on an acting set or even as a person in a movie, that's incredible. And so Maybe you don't do it through painting, but if you can get a little bit of that and be a little bit more real and exposed and authentic and vulnerable in your own life, how much cooler would everyday interactions be? But anyway, Sydney Opera House. Oh, absolutely, Serge. I'm on board 100%. Send it through via the link in the bio. There's a commission thing there. Size and location, and I can get back to you. I'm applying for the art battle. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. No, you've got your advice there. You're not doing it to win. Honestly, I'm pretty sure the people who do win, because it's voted by the crowd, are the ones who are actually having the most fun. Because the crowd sees that, they feed off that, and they want to be a part of that. But if you're sitting there with headphones on, ignoring everyone and hiding away, I think the crowd feel that introverted fear. And they want you to come out of your shell. They don't want you to be introverted and hidden. They want to see what you make, even if it's a disaster. And I've had some disasters, but the thing about it is it's not a disaster if everyone's having a good time. And I think Art Battle teaches you that, because no one's going to be like, oh, that's terrible. You had 20 minutes. You did your best. A lot of people can't even mix a colour palette in 20 minutes. You tried to make a piece of artwork. Good for you. And the fact that you made enough of the piece of artwork to make mistakes sounds like you did really good. You have to get quite far down the journey to make mistakes in the artwork. So, impressive. Hello, Samara. I'm not sure that's a constructive comment. I'm going to pause you there for a moment, Samara. But what I will say is if you're talking about paint, do not eat acrylic paints or egg tempera for that matter, even though it's just egg yolk. It's not for eating. The pigments are not all good for you. Some pigments are natural and you can eat them. I wouldn't encourage it though. I'm just going to say no, don't do it. If I can help there. Yeah. Jade, well said. Being weird lets out everyone else's weirdness and overall just makes the whole world a better place. I would agree with that. There we go. I would agree with that. There we go. Splash us around here. Sorry guys, this last 20 or 30 minutes I haven't done a whole lot of painting, but I've just been yakking, chewing your ear off like a elder relative on a phone call. It's on me, I'm sorry. But I think we made some good points. I am 5'11", but I don't know what the obsession is these days with height. Grow up. Doesn't. That is the worst phrase to put after that. Honestly, height is largely irrelevant. I don't know why tall girls would be insecure of their height or short guys be insecure of theirs. Like a short guy on an airplane, he's going to arrive at the next location. I know I've said this before. Refreshed and ready to go. A tall girl, who does it matter? Does it really matter who gets the cookie jar off the top shelf? Come on. Come on. There we go. Cheers, Jay. And Jay, no hurry, but I am expecting an email from you in the next. If it doesn't come through, don't worry. I get it. But if it does come through, I'm looking forward to it. I want to hear from you, buddy. And with that, I think we will. Boom, 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 boom. Pause there. We'll come back to this one. We've got all tomorrow. In the morning, we're going outside with those weather conditions in our fan. Johnny Cash, love your music. We're going outside in the morning to start off our San Reno. I mean, I don't think I reckon I make a few people happy with painting. And I think when you look at what you want to do in the world, I think there's some amazing Hollywood actors who do an amazing job. Credit to them. Love Tom Hanks personally. Forrest Gump, great movie. But I reckon with art, although there's an abundance of art, I see a real lack of raw, honest, authentic, wild, primal, unbridled art. And so I think I want more of that. I want that stuff that helps people connect. I want that stuff that vitalizes and that brings joy. And I think we do an okay job of that. I really think we try to thread that needle. Thanks, Jade. Or at least just not be it, but be a part of it, you know? Jack, there is no workout routine. I don't even have a gym. I've got this. I'll show you. Actually, it's in here in the corner. I go for walks and I use this little band, and that's it. I do believe in getting your blood pumping and exercising a little bit to stay healthy, but I don't believe in letting it consume your life. You do it to improve your life, not to become your life, if that makes sense. And Sarah, I appreciate that, Sarah, but I really don't see how that can make people really happy, and that's the goal. You're 7.2. Yeah, you go, Brittany. Do your thing. I love that. Tall but wearing heels. Do your thing. All right, guys, I'm going to pause there. Tomorrow morning, we're starting this piece outside, weather permitting, and it's going to be a beautiful, lovely, colourful dancer in the most vibrant, pounding sunny colours. And probably, I'm undecided if we're going to do the bush or the beach. It'll be one of the two, but we'll see how we feel tomorrow. And if it is raining just a little bit, we might just sneak out there anyway. And then we'll come back in here, smash out this canvas and smash out this canvas. And you know what, Sky? I was really, really good at my corporate job too. An absolute weapon. But at the end of the day, sometimes your true calling is how you can make other people happy and bring something good to this world that you're happy to leave behind. And that comes from me getting weird, colored liquid on a rudimentary tool like a brush, putting it on a plate like an absolute weirdo and throwing it on a 2D surface to make other people happy. That's what I like to do, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Jules, thanks for joining both of them. I hope you enjoyed Beer Fest, Jules. And yeah, after that little yarn, you're off to the gym. Have fun. Anyway, guys, all the best. Cheers, Brittany. Cheers, everyone who joined for both the lives. You're an absolute champion. Like I was saying, I'm working on a schedule. If you've got a specific time, let me know. At the moment, it's looking like a 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So morning to lunch New Zealand time, which is basically about 12 hours ago. If you'd prefer a different time, message me sooner rather than later so I can get a schedule on the consensus from the viewers. At the moment, 9 till 12 is looking like the most important go. Not all the time, but some definite times that you guys can start to rely on from me. All right, guys. Last question. I am not Patrick Gower's son. But thanks, Ollie. Appreciate the question. He is a lovely guy. And Jay, looking forward to it. Look after yourselves, guys. Bye, Steve. Bye, Jay. Jay Smith, if you're here. Victoria, if you're here. See you later, Jade. Ryan? I think Ryan might have dived out. And Jules, catch ya. Bye, guys.